Yo, 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 yo. Thanks for checking out the channel. Thanks for being here. Like, subscribe, guys. Y'all know what I'm gonna beg y'all to do. We got to get the channel going. We got to get things popping and going. But ultimately, no matter what you do, if you're hearing my voice, thank you for being here. I hope your 2026 is starting off on a record pace in a good way, hopefully. Anyway, all that aside, we'll talk about that later. I am putting myself on an early injury report. Man, this weather in Houston is up and down, left, right, and center. So I am telling y'all right now, this video is going to be short and sweet. We're going to get to the point. So we're going to break down the Patriots offense as it relates to what the Chargers did. We'll talk about the Chargers a little bit, give them their flowers, even though those are dying rapidly as they get ready to go to different states and countries because they would not be playing football. So anyway, trolling aside, thank you guys so much for being here. Like, subscribe, tell a friend of a friend. I promise you it will be worth it. I promise that I will send you a virtual hug on the day you need it the most. But again, like, subscribe, leave a review. All right, let's do it. All right, guys, let's get into it. So just a quick recap over the Patriots offense. 381 total yards, passing yards at 268, rushing yards at 146 and 16 points. Drake made 17 to 29, 268 yards passing, or 268 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 5 sacks for 33 yards. We'll get into it with an 86 QBR, with an 86 QBR, so not too bad. Ironically, Drake, for a rookie, first game, right? Showing him love, being critical when we need to be, but he led us in rushing, 66 rushing yards on 10 attempts, 37 long was his longest. Ramondre Stevenson, 53 yards, averaged 5.3 yards a carry and 13 with a 13-yard long run. Henderson, 27 yards, 3 yards a carry with a 15 long. So, ironically enough, side note, Ramondre Stevenson, our starting running back, led our receivers with 75 receiving yards off 3 receptions. But ultimately, you know what the Patriots do. If you've ever watched Josh McDaniels' offense, they're going to spread the ball around. So we'll talk about the 2 fumbles, one that was lost by Drake May. And then, yeah, we'll just keep rocking and rolling. So let's start. I guess we'll start with, we'll do the Gonzo update, right? Look, I got to look at my own itinerary. So we'll do the Gonzo update. Gonzo seems to be playing. I was actually looking, and we'll do this right now here, just to give you guys some proof, if you will. Looks like, let's add that to the stage. Give me a second here. Looks like Gonzo's going to be playing. Quarter to Joseph Manning. He posted, Christian Gonzalez posted on the story and the song with G Herbo, I'm Back. I feel like an old man because I don't listen to G Herbo, so I don't know what that song is relatively referencing, but I'm assuming I'm back means he's back. So I'm going to assume that Gonzo plays. We're going to do a defensive breakdown tomorrow of the team, so I'm not going to worry too much about. We're not going to go too much into all of that today, but generally speaking, had a great game. Really proud of him and his team for putting it all together. But we'll talk about the defense another day. So let's get back to it. Let's get back to the meat and potatoes here. So give me 1 second. All right. So if we're going to start with the I told you so recap. I told you guys, I thought we could run on this defense. Not that this defense was terrible at running. They had a great run. I mean, you guys seen the game. The Chargers defense was excellent. I don't want to go down too far of a rabbit hole into the quote-unquote I told you so segment. But if I could have my moment and my flowers, and I appreciate some of you guys leaving comments saying that, hey, I watched your last video, your preview video after the game, and man, you were really spot on. So I just really love those things because it lets me know that I'm seeing the game in a way that it's panning out. And I appreciate you guys for taking the time to point out when I was right, just like you would point out if I was wrong. So I appreciate both ends of the conversation. But like I said, Chargers had multiple sacks. Defense played well. I thought we could run the ball, though. I thought that the Patriots I think ultimately had opportunities of physicality. I just thought that Ramondre Stevenson, though I didn't predict him to have a 100-yard game or anything like that, I just thought that he could do what he did, which is average about 5 yards a carry. I thought that if Ramondre Stevenson, Trey Henderson, if they were able to just keep this offensive head of the sticks when they needed to or when they were called to do so, I thought that would have been fine. I think my score was a little off considering I think that went like 27-24. So definitely wasn't right on the score. But generally speaking, I thought the keys to the game were going to be the same or what they end up being, which is just that Ramondre was going to have a crucial part in this passing and running offense because that's what he's been doing. Again, we talk about the end of the year, last year's fumbles, just starting this year fumbles. I don't know. I like Mike Vrabel. I didn't give up on Stevenson. I just thought he would be too powerful, too needed, too valuable for this team in a playoff run. So glad to see that the run game was doing well. I told you so. My biggest I told you so. Listen, I have not studied Justin Herbert like some of the fanboys have in the national media, but I can tell you right this: the film don't lie. I don't give a damn about stats. Stats are important. Stats are there for a reason. Stats give you some conceptualize, some context, if you will, or even just kind of like present something to you so that you can find more context. But at the end of the day, guys, I just said that Justin Herbert, I just didn't think he was seeing it. I think he was sped up, and I thought he didn't see it. I think that every single person that watched that tape, especially from a Chargers offensive perspective, saw that there were opportunities, and he just didn't see them. And that's why even though I didn't predict the Patriots defense to play like they did, I just thought ultimately Justin Herbert was not seeing it. And then you have receivers that were not. If the Patriots were to lean into the man, now granted they only played about 27% man, but what they did is that they shadowed receiver to cornerback even if they were running zone. So now you get, and that's why if anybody's been following, you've been seeing that a lot of people have been saying, man, to this day, I still don't know if the Patriots defense was running against the Chargers this past weekend because they muddied everything up and they did things that they don't normally do, which is make sure that the cornerback is matched up to a receiver, whether it's man or zone. I thought that was pretty crucial. I also thought that the Chargers wide receivers were just not great zone beaters. I thought they had opportunities that if they were able to block up front, they could find crafty ways to get open, but I just didn't think they were going to do it consistently enough against this defense. Anyway, yeah. So again, I don't want to go into defense. I'll go into the defense tomorrow. I want to really take a really detailed look at exactly what happened, but just my overall thoughts and what I saw in the game live, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. So trying to think about what else we said. Anything else? D-line. Oh, sorry, no. So we'll skip over that. Let's transition into Drake May. First playoff game. Everyone wants to give a grade. If you told me to give him a grade, I gave him a B. Dude, your heart's beating out of your body in a playoff game. Everything's faster. The defense is going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at you. It's our last game. This is it. This is no more, hey, well, we don't have time to install this, or we'd like to be able to run this. If this is not something we normally would run, we have to stay within these confines. Oh, we're playing on a Thursday, so we have to limit our playbook. No, none of that for the playoffs. It is everything on the line. And this Chargers defense was extremely unique in the sense that they use their defense almost like a positionless basketball. They'll have 6 DBs on the time, three safeties on the field, 3 cornerbacks on the field at the same time. They'll have, multiple linebackers that are actually pressuring. They'll have Derwin James on the line. They'll have 6 or 7 guys on the line creating potentially matchup issues or trying to create one-on-ones for the D-line. And we'll get into some of the offensive overall struggles, but like this defense was legit. And this defense was very confusing. Now, if you get a second or two, post-snap to see it, I think then Drake May was able to see it, and he showed that he was able to see it when given time. But I just think that being naturally sped up, trying to find your rhythm in a playoff game, every single play matters. And obviously he made some plays that he wished he had back. But ultimately, as it pertains to Drake May, I just think, listen, I think they got him a couple times. 1 sack I thought was pretty 2 sacks that I want to talk about in particular. One is the one where he actually fumbled the ball. When you watch it live, it feels like this is when they were in the red zone, I believe, and he fumbled it. Watching it live, it felt like he was like, how do I say? It felt like he had fumbled the ball, maybe like actually fumbled it. In certain instances, if you watch it from a different angle, it feels like he tried to actually throw it, which I think is what he actually tried to do, which is throw it. But I don't know who he was throwing it to. So just dumb plays that he's got to get better at. And we've seen this guy get better all throughout the year. So I'm not going to beat him down on that. Another sack that he had, Cameron recorded was they were about midfield, maybe closer to their side of the logo, probably around the 30 or 40 yard mark. But either way go, they what's the guy's name? Troy Dye is actually on the line of scrimmage. They have everyone on the line of scrimmage. It looks like they were going to call a hot route to Diggs on the right hand side, and Drake makes steps back, takes a step for a quick throw, and as soon as he's about to throw it, he notices that Troy Dye, who looked like he was coming, actually comes and then drops back in coverage to take away the slant route. Something that they did a lot with Stephon Diggs is a lot of man, a lot of taking away his go-to routes, dropping someone specifically in those sections in order to essentially take away their number one receiver. So because Drake May notices at the last second, oh crap, he's actually dropping, he has to hold it. The rush comes, and then, essentially he gets a sack. So I just thought, I thought that the Chargers, not only with their sacks, but just their pressure, I thought their pressure and their back end coverage married up really, really well. I thought there was time that Drake took sacks or even took situations where he had to make a play. There was no one open downfield. I didn't feel like the Patriots really missed opportunities downfield or anything like that throughout this game. I think that they had to scratch and claw for everything that they got, and that's what they did. Let's transition to two really quickly because I said this video wasn't going to be long. Let's transition into the offensive line really quickly. I'm not smart enough to say exactly what needs to happen, but I think there needs to be a conversation about Jared Wilson and Ben Brown. I think everyone's been talking about that. I think Will Campbell is Will Campbell. I don't know if I'm trusting Verdarian Lowe, even though I think that, man, I just really wish Verdarian Lowe could put it all together, and I wish I could give more of analysis. That might be more of an offseason conversation about Verdarian Lowe, but Will Campbell got his butt whooped. And I'm not here to talk about arm lift. Again, I'm not smart enough to get into all that bullcrap conversation, but I will say that he got his butt whooped. He was getting bull rush, and every time that he wasn't getting bull rush, he was giving up the edge because he was afraid of the bull rush. Will Campbell's going to have to be better, especially against this defense. This upcoming defense in the Texans, he's going to have to be better. Will Campbell's going to have to – Jared Wilson's going to have to be better, or they're going to have to put Ben Brown in there. He just didn't have the tenacity. These guys were not good in the run game. This Patriots offensive line was not good in the run game. I think a lot of things that came were from Stevenson being Stevenson and them trying to run on the more mature side of the offensive line. Mike Onwenu, Morgan Moses, like those guys. But I would say, even to be honest with you, I didn't think Mike Onwenu had a great game either. I thought he got bullied around. I think that he looked better in the run game as a guard because the Charger defensive lineman or even linebacker kind of swimmed or made a move that always just seemed to be kind of like counter where the run play was as it pertains to kind of like running on the right side or even maybe running like a cutback. Like, I just thought there was a lot of blocks that Mike Onwenu had as the right guard that I just didn't feel like he brought the tenacity. I feel like sometimes he made errors. I know one time they actually pulled him from his guard position to the left side to kind of seal the edge, and then he just completely misses the guy, doesn't really understand how far out the guy is and his technique. I don't know how that could have been communicated or maybe even how you could have seen that, but either way it go, he just doesn't seal the edge. The edge comes out, make a tackle for no gain. So it's like, it's just things that they need to clean up. And being that he's the veteran along with Morgan Moses, who I thought Morgan Moses actually played pretty savvy. I wouldn't say he just like had an awesome game, but pretty savvy. Which that's what I expect him to be at this age. But ultimately, I think obviously we're not giving the offensive line new Bugattis at Christmas for this performance, but get what I'm saying. But I just didn't think I thought they played all right. I thought the pass protection was better than I anticipated. I thought Drake May had a lot more time than originally thought. That's why I can say comfortably I thought the receivers just wasn't. It's not that they really wasn't getting open. It's just that it was just nobody open. Sometimes that the Chargers would drop 8 in coverage. Like I said, six defensive backs on the field. That's pretty risky. Again, that's just trusting your defense, trusting a lot of players on their defense to play. I thought they had a really interesting strategy and something I hadn't seen before. So anyway, but the preview for the Texans, again, we're going to do a preview on the Texans probably about Thursday or Friday, probably about, I would say like Thursday or Friday, depending on how my work week goes. But Offensive line, it's going to come down to the trenches against the Texans. I'm not worried about their offense at all, especially with Gonzo playing. I think defensively we'll be just fine. I think we could have early predictions is that we will have a closer to Chargers offensive output against our defense with these Texans. I feel confident in saying no, I should say that I feel like we'll be okay. I'm getting early senses that we still could probably win this game, but I think it's going to be another rock fight. It's just going to be a different type of rock fight. I really want to study this Texans defense before I get into it too much into it. But I think ultimately I feel pretty good, especially seeing CJ Stroud absolutely wet the bed in every which way he could. No disrespect to him, but that's what it was. So because of that, I'm like, we might have the better quarterback when they play. We won't have the better defense, but can our quarterback differential be enough to propel us to another potentially like a 16-10 type of game? I'm not sure. We'll get into it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment, leave a question, leave a like that. But yeah, thanks for checking out the channel, guys. Like, subscribe, tell a friend of a friend, do the damn thing. And thanks for checking out the channel. I'll work on my outros. But anyway, guys, thank you. Have a wonderful day. God bless.